It turns out that in fairy tales, these wonderful little things started out with a lot more death, a lot more destruction, cannibalism,
murder, rape.
So adults told each other tales, and these form the basis of fairy tales. But the Disney version basically has, like, Cinderella is very sweet and beautiful and kind, but she's being basically human trafficked by her own wicked stepmother.
And in the original version, it's actually pretty much like that. But the evil stepmother in this version says to her stepdaughters, to the oldest one, she's like, here's what you do. I know that shoe won't fit around your big hammer toe. Here's a knife, cut that thing off, and the shoe will fit. And she does it. She cuts off her toe, puts on the slipper, and the prince is like, this is great. Until these pigeons, magic pigeons, come along and say, hey, prince, check that toe out. It's bleeding through the glass slipper.
Like her shoe is filled with blood. The youngest one tries the same thing, except she cuts off part of her heel. The two pigeons point out the bloody shoe, and then finally, somehow, Cinderella ends up with the shoe on, right?
Yeah, and he says, I found you, we're going to go get married, and an act of good favor, she invites the stepsisters to the wedding.
Because she was such a nice person.
Probably to rub salt in the wounds.
She knew that her pigeon friends were going to pluck their eyes out, which they did.
Yep, one at a time, and then they come back and finish the job and pluck out the other eyes. Can we talk about the juniper tree real quick?
I love this one.
So, like we said, in fairy tales, there are all kinds of things that can happen, and the juniper tree may be the worst one of them all. So in this case, we have an evil stepmother, of course, who hates her stepchild, who's a boy. So she comes home and says, hey, you want an apple? And the boy says, sure, let me lean in there and get one. And she, it's a trunk, and she slams the trunk down and cuts his head off.
Yeah.
And that's just the beginning. So she's like, all right, probably not a wise move. Let me put the kid in a chair, stick this head back on his neck, and wrap a scarf around it, and just, here, open his eyes here and put a little smile on his face. Then her real daughter comes in, not a stepdaughter.
Right.
Her favored real daughter.
Yes.
And is like, he looks all weird. Why is he just sitting there like a dolt? She says, I don't know. Go slap him and bring him around a bit. So she boxes his ear, his head falls off.
And by the way, the little girl loved the little boy.
So she knocks his head off, and the mom's like, you knocked your brother's head off, and you won't get in any trouble. Let's just cook him into a stew and feed him to your father.
And the little girl's like beside herself with like guilt and shame and horror at thought that she killed her beloved stepbrother.
Yeah.
But she goes along with it because this is what her mom's saying. And the father comes home and he eats the stew. And
then he add a little misogyny and greed on the end.
Yeah.
Because he's like, no one else in this family is going to eat this.
Yeah.
But me.
It's pretty nuts. And in the end, the little girl takes the boy's bones and buries them by the juniper tree, and he's reborn as a bird and ends up killing the wicked stepmother, and then comes back to life as the boy. So it all works out in the end for the boy, but it's pretty nuts as far as like these stories go. Like that has it all.